Hello everyone. In this video we are going to learn how to calculate the time complexity of a recursive program. So in the last videos we have discussed how to calculate the time complexity of a simple or a normal program. Okay. So you know what is a recursion. Recursion is a function which calls itself. Okay. And there are two types of recursions. Some recursions are known as comes under the term direct recursion, and some recursions come under the term indirect recursion. So direct recursion means suppose we have a program A. Suppose we have a program A or function A. Okay, and if this function A calls itself, we call such function as a direct recursive function. Okay, the example is like that. A, this is the function name, and suppose after some statements this function calls itself. Okay, so you can see here the same function name is used, A and A. So such type of function calling is known as direct recursive functions. Okay, and suppose next is the indirect function. When this function A calls another function, suppose this function A is calling another function and the name of that function is B, like this. Okay, so this function A is calling B. Now when control reaches to this position, what happens? It is going to invoke the function B and it will execute all the statements what are present inside this B. Hope you know the control flow. And inside the B, suppose it is calling the function A. So you see what is happening? A is calling B and B is calling A. So this type of function, recursive function, is known as indirect recursive function. Okay, so these are the two different types of recursive functions, direct recursive functions and indirect recursive functions. So this example what I have written here is the example of a direct recursive function. So let us see how to calculate the time complexity of this recursive program. So you are familiar with this program. Why? Because we have used the same program for calculating the space complexity. We have used the same program for calculating the space complexity, and the purpose of this program is just to calculate the sum of n numbers present in an array, and the name of the array given here is A. Okay, so let us see how it is coming. And you know that we can calculate the time complexity of a given program using two methods. First method is using the global count variable, and using that global count variable we will be calculating the step count for a given program. And the second method is using the tabular method. We will discuss upon that in our later videos. So let us calculate the time complexity using the global count variable. So here you can see this rsum is the name of the program, and the two parameters used here are A, which is the name of the array, and small n, which gives you the total number of elements present in that array A. Now this checking is for what? This is an if condition, and it is here what is happening? It is checking whether the number of elements present in that A is less than or equal to 0. If the number of elements is less than 0, what happens? You don't have to go for the calculation purpose. You just have to return the value 0. Okay. And suppose this condition is false, the else block will execute. And in the else block what is happening? The addition is happening and the function invocation is happening, and whole total the answer is returning. Okay. So three operations are happening in the else part. So hope this the meaning of this algorithm you know. Now let us calculate the time complexity of this algorithm. So since we are going to use the count variable for calculating the time complexity, so what is the how we are going to use that? So here what is happening? This count variable, this condition checking is happening. First if condition is happening. Okay, and for checking this if condition whether the value n is less than or equal to 0, some amount of time is spent there, and for indicating the spent time we are writing count is equals to count plus 1. We are going to increment the value of count by 1. Okay. This count is for what? This is for if checking. If checking. And inside, suppose, now imagine your array does not contains any element. That means your n is less than or equal to 0. This condition is true. What happens? You will definitely enter into this if block. And what is happening inside the if block? You are returning 0 to the address from where this program has been invoked. So for returning this 0 back to that address from where this program has been invoked, it requires some time, isn't it? So that time is indicated by another count. So we are representing that time with this count, and we are incrementing the count by count is equals to count plus 1. Okay. So this count is for this return 0. Clear? Now suppose if condition is not true, that means your array contains more than 0 elements. So what happens? You will come to the else part and your return, this statement will execute. So now focus into this part. What all functions are going on here? Here are some a comma n minus 1. This program is invoked for n number of elements, and this function r sum a comma n minus 1 means what? It is invoked for n minus 1 elements. Why n minus 1? That nth element is already included here. Okay. So the rest, how many elements are there? Rest n minus 1 elements are there, and for that n minus 1 elements you are invoking r sum a comma n minus 1. So I hope you understand how this recursive function calling is happening. I have already discussed the implementation of this program in my previous videos. You can go and re-watch that videos if you don't understand how the working of this statement is happening. Okay. So here 3 operations are going on. Normally here 3 operations are going on. I will be writing here. First is addition operation. Addition happening. You can see the plus symbol is there. That means the answer result of a of n and the result of r sum, both of them are getting added here. That is addition operation is happening. And what is happening? Other operation. Which is the other operation? Function invocation. Okay, function invocation is happening. Function invocation r sum is happening. And what is happening? Return. So the whole answer is returned back to that address from where this program has been invoked. Okay, so the return is also happening. So these are the 3 important operations that are happening in this else block. Clear? So for representing all these 3 operations, that means when 3 operations are happening there, some amount of time is definitely spent there. Okay, and that is what we are writing. Count is equals to count plus 1 for indicating the time spent for these 3 operations: addition, function invocation and return. For 3 operations we are writing count is equals to count plus 1. Okay, so for 3 operations only we are representing it with one single count incrementation. Now for calculating the total time complexity of this program, what you have to do? Individually you have written all that count statements, and now to find the total time complexity of this program, what is the next step? You have to calculate the total step count, isn't it? You have to count the total counts. Okay, and then only you can understand what is the time complexity of this recursive program. For that purpose, what you are going to write, when you are going to analyze this type of recursive program, what happens? You will get a recurrence relation here. Okay, since this is a recursive program, so analyzing recursive program is different from analyzing a normal program. Okay, the way how we are going to analyze a normal program is not equivalent to the same method how we are going to analyze a recursive method. That means for analyzing a recursive method, one recurrence relation we will get one recurrence relation. Okay, so let us see how you are going to calculate the time complexity. So time complexity is represented by small t, and you know that time complexity depends upon the instance characteristics of that program. As the instant characteristics of that program changes, the time complexity also changes accordingly. You have clearly understood that in the earlier videos. In case of the space complexity also, the space complexity also depends upon the instance characteristics. According to the change in the instance characteristics, space complexity of that particular program will change. So that is the case with time complexity also, and this time complexity is represented by small t, and the name of the algorithm is written like that, RSUM. Okay, small t RSUM, and this is for what? We are going to calculate the time complexity for RSUM program, and this RSUM program is written for calculating n summation of n numbers present in that array. For that purpose we have written n. Okay, so when your array contains n elements, what is happening? And both these situations, in the sense, you have to think when this condition is true and you have to think when this condition is false. Okay, so suppose you just imagine your condition is true here. That means number of elements is less than or equal to 0. The condition is true. What happens? How many count is there? You see, for condition checking, one count is there. When the condition is true, it is entering into the if block. So what happens? You are going to return the 0, and for that purpose one count is also there. So how many total counts are there? There are 2 counts, 1 and 2. So that means T of RSUM for n number of elements will be 2. When it is going to be 2? When the value of n is less than or equal to 0. Okay, when the number of elements present in that array is less than or equal to 0, you have to spend 2 counts for that program, minimum of 2 counts. Why? Just for checking the if condition that is needed, isn't it? And if suppose that if condition is true, you have to enter into the if loop and if block, and again the count is incremented. So 2 count incrementation is happening. So because of that is 2 when n is less than or equal to 0. And now you have to think about the other situation. That means when the condition is not true. That means when n is greater than 0, what happens? Check here. When this condition is false, what happens? The control comes to else part, isn't it? And for if checking, one count incrementation is already happened. So one count incrementation. And else part, in the else part another count incrementation is there. For this count, why this count incrementation is written? This count incrementation indicates these 3 operations. What are these 3 operations? Addition, function invocation and return. Okay, for these 3 operations this count has been written. So how many total counts are there? Again you will get 2. Okay, plus, so this 2 is for what? This 2 is for n number of elements. Okay, and now in the else block what is happening? You are invoking the function for n minus 1 element also. So next it will go and do the same procedure for n minus 1 element. So again this 2 will occur, this count incrementation, this count incrementation, isn't it? So it is depending upon the time spent for RSUM n minus 1. The rest time, the additional time that needs for calculation of T RSUM n minus 1. Okay, so this is the recurrence relation. This is known as recurrence relation. Now from this relation, when you are going to analyze this relation, it is difficult to understand what is the time complexity for this program. Now to make it more generalized, to make it more clear, we have to solve this recurrence relation. Okay, and there are different methods are there for solving recurrence relation, and one of the simplest method for solving any recurrence relation is using the substitution method. Okay, you have to replace this RSUM n minus 1 by repeatedly doing substitutions. Okay, and how many times you have to do these substitutions till you are going this T RSUM of this term is disappears from that formula. Okay, so let us do how you are going to solve this recurrence relation. Okay, so here we have a recurrence relation, and now I am going to solve this recurrence relation so that you will get a generalized answer for this program, for this recursive program, and that answer will give you the total time complexity for this recursive program. Okay, so this is our TR sum of n. So we have to solve this relation this much. Okay, so TR sum of n is equals to, in the worst situation, that means when the if condition is false, you will have to have this much of amount of time needed for solving that problem. TR sum of n is equals to 2 plus R sum n minus 1. Okay, and when this TR sum of n minus 1 is expanded, what happens? That means you have to replace this n with n minus 1. So what you will get? This n, wherever you will find n, you have to substitute, you have to replace that n with n minus 1. So you just see what happens. You are replacing n with n minus 1. Here this n is replaced by n minus 1. So what is happening inside? N minus 1 minus 1. What you will get? N minus 2. This 2 is same, and that additional 2. So when you are solving this formula, you will get 2 plus TR sum n minus 2. Okay. Now in the next step, you have to solve this formula TR sum n minus 2. You have to replace TR sum n minus 2. So that means we will get 2, this same 2, these both 2's are from the above 2. Now you are going to solve this. You will get 2 plus TR sum n minus 3. That means you are replacing this n with n minus 2. Okay. Sorry, this n with n minus 2. So you will get n minus 2 minus 1, n minus 3. Okay. So here also likewise I will do one more step. Now you have to solve this one. Next time you will get TR sum of n minus 4. Okay, that means how many times it will call that recursive function? Till your array contains 0 elements. That time, that number of time this recursive calling will happen. Okay, so this will go n minus 4, then again reduced by n minus 5, n minus 6, like that, and it will reach to this position. At the nth, this n will 2 will be added for n number of times, and you will reach by that time. In that time your array will contain 0 elements, n minus 4, n minus 5, n minus 6. At nth step you will get n minus n. So n minus n is what? 0. So this 2 is added for n number of times. So you can write like this, isn't it? N into 2 plus TR sum of 0. So when the value of n is 0, how much time you need? You need 2 step counts. Okay, so you can replace TR of sum with 0, TR sum of 0 with value 2. Now what you are getting? 2n plus 2. So this is the time complexity for TR sum n. Okay, so this way you have to solve the recurrence relation, and you will get the total time complexity of a recursive program. So when you are going to analyze a program which is written in a simple method and with the program which uses recursive, when you analyze both the programs, you will get a little difference in the time complexity, and you will find that in the last video we have discussed that this program, when it was not written in a non-recursive method, you got 2n plus 3 as the time complexity. Okay, and here what you are getting? 2n plus 2. So a small change in the time complexity. So hope this video is makes sense to you, and you are able to understand how to calculate the time complexity of a recursive algorithm. So thank you for watching, and if you have any doubts, do contact me in person through WhatsApp or through call. Thank you so much.